This Monday night, we're sending you back to the podcast.
Oh, jeez. Hey.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Josh Delgado, with my sister Glenda Delgado. We're going to talk a lot about The Last of Us, but I got a couple of stories before we start. Real quick, I know you don't watch, probably don't watch anything Adult Swim, probably.
Other than Rick and Morty.
It's an older show, iconic show, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. They just had a movie. They're officially returning to Adult Swim for 5 episodes on March 12th. I think it's Jonathan's birthday, right? Our brother's birthday.
Yes.
That's a good present for him. It's really funny.
Does he like it?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. We grew up in the classic Adult Swim. Yeah, it's pretty funny. They're only like 15 minutes. It's really funny.
Chris likes it too.
Yeah, see? Chris got taste.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I've never seen it.
They're like 15 minutes too, so you can watch any random episodes. Not like you're gonna miss anything. The movie was decent. It just came out. It was pretty funny. They tease you for paying to watch the movie and stuff like that. But yeah, that was real quick.
Are the writers like known for anything else? The ones from Aqua Teen Force.
The production company is probably the writers too, but the other company, they make weird, funny shit.
Oh, okay.
But I don't follow them too hard, but they do. On bigger news, Cobra Kai would end after season 6, which is the next one, I believe. 6 seasons in the movie. So
and a movie. That's cool.
Well, the movie's the problem, I believe, because when they announced, so the studio announced they want to make a Karate Kid movie, the actors are like, oh, well, they haven't even contacted us. Ralph Malch is like, they haven't contacted us about a movie. That's weird.
Oh, they announced before securing talent, securing it with the cast.
Because I don't know, I think it's Sony or somebody owns the actual rights to it,
Yeah.
And they just announced, hey, we're doing a new Karate Kid movie, or we want to go back to the old 80s cast or something like that, like the original thing, like, well, the original guys or who want a TV show, like, well, we don't know anything about it. It's kind of weird, especially when they got a show going on, which technically is Cobra Kai. Weird. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall, like, okay, this is not going to get renewed, which the creators of this show are disappointed because they have a couple of storylines left that they wanted to do. Now they're going to have to wrap up. They're going to have to wrap up now, and I have a feeling, one, they're going to have to convince the cast to do that movie, which they already announced. But two, is like, they're probably going to do like, well, that shit didn't count. I guarantee it. That they're going to like alternate verse, right? That TV show that's not canon.
You think so?
I have a feeling. Yeah, because they're not even talking to the cast. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not talking to the creators of the show. They're not talking to the cast. They own the rights, and they're like, oh, we're going to do this movie.
Wow.
So they're going all about it the wrong way.
So this is like the production company that has the rights that's saying all this?
I'm guessing, so Columbia Pictures, yeah, so I was right, Sony, Columbia Pictures, so which is owned by Sony. So I'm guessing originally YouTube bought the rights from them to stream it, and then YouTube sold it to Netflix or whatever. They moved it to Netflix along with Columbia. But it's one of those things that Netflix, they're famous for dropping shit that they don't actually produce anyway, so it's not like a big deal to them. Yeah. It was great that they revived it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just doing their own thing, announcing their own thing, so I'm not surprised. I'm very doubtful with the movie. They're not going to continue Cobra Kai story. They're not even talking to the creators, so why would they?
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Which kind of sucks. But as a fan, like, well, we're gonna decide this is canon. The show's canon, and this movie's not. I guarantee you. Let's just start approaching it the right way. That movie's gonna bomb. Now if they decide, oh hey, we're gonna continue what they did on the show. Okay, that's pretty cool, but it's not leaning towards that just yet.
Right, because why announce something and they don't have everything settled with the cast or anything?
Exactly.
It's just weird. Yeah.
And then
the writers didn't even know.
And when they announced that too, the creators of Cobra Kai were like, we don't know what's going on. We're in the dark. We didn't know about a movie. We're still waiting on renewal. And it was dead silence until now about the last season. So,
wow.
You can thank Sony for that. I mean, it's their IP, but
yeah,
I don't understand if people are so. These people in charge are so dumb when it comes to stuff like this. It's like,
well, they're money hungry. They just think we got the rights to this. It's doing really well. I don't understand the whole like rebranding or like, I don't know, starting over. That's just ridiculous. And
If they want
especially
people,
if the show is so successful, you
exactly.
know.
And if you want people to support the movie, then bring in the creators, bring in that cast,
Yeah.
and be like, this is now it's going to be in a movie. Those storylines are going to be in a movie instead of a TV show. That would
Yeah.
work, but I don't think they can because it's always like, does Netflix own those minor characters now? Not Sony. It's always like
Yeah.
always tricky when it comes to those kind of contracts. And just like when Netflix had Marvel,
Yeah.
they would mention the movies, but they never really
Interesting.
interact.
I
The other
couldn't
way
say
around,
characters' names. Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
big green guy they would say and stuff like that. So it's always tricky when it
That's
comes to that. So
crazy.
I don't. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna help each other out in that
That's
regard.
crazy. Wow. I didn't finish the last season. Don't tell me what happens, but did you like it? Did you like the last season?
Yeah, it was still going strong. It was great.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, the
Okay.
cast is great. It always gets you emotionally. I think maybe the
Invested, yeah.
season before that was probably the weakest, but it was a strong season. And yeah, they're gonna have to wrap everything up now, which kind of sucks.
I watched it when it was on YouTube. Did you watch it on YouTube?
Yeah, I watched it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. There
I
was
was
so
happy when
much
it came
buzz
to
about it.
Netflix. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. That's why I was like, I actually like rented it when it was on YouTube because you had to have like YouTube TV or something.
Premium or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or what did our mother call it? YouTube Red, or what did she
She
call
called it
it?
she called it
Red Tube. Red
RedTube
Tube.
and RedTube. I don't even think you could put an insert of that. But look it
I
up,
don't,
people.
I
Our
don't even
mom
think
was
RedTube's popular
calling
anymore.
you, but yeah, she was calling
YouTube Red
YouTube
was probably what it's
Red.
called. Yeah.
Yes, which is actually a mistake on their fault, on their behalf
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like, why would you name it so close to RedTube?
Well, I don't even think
And
RedTube's popular.
no, but her actual verbiage that she would tell people was, "I can't live without my RedTube."
You were dying. What is it? What are you watching?
And then she would say, "What?" But yeah, I think that doesn't even exist anymore, does it? I've never even seen
That's what I'm
ads for
saying.
YouTube Red.
I don't. At the time, they were popular. I don't think they're popular anymore.
Oh, okay.
But at the time, yes. So now it wouldn't even be. I don't think people would get the joke. At the time, yes, they were.
Just millennials. You know you're a millennial, right?
I'm not a millennial, bro. I'm at the cutoff
Yes,
of Gen
you
Z.
are.
We're at the cutoff of Gen Z, dude. First of all, there's no exact date between generations.
That's what I'm saying.
We're,
It's just like
but
an
every
estimation.
time people are talking about millennials, they're like 10 years younger than me. Like, how we're in the same fucking generation. You know what I mean? I'm at the end of Generation X, punk rock and all that. That's my music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
and it's already past millennials too. Well, I mean, that's what's always annoying.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
oh,
Gen Z. It's Gen Zers right now. They're like the next generation, and then Friday's,
no,
generation is going to be Alpha, is what they say.
no, there's a new one, Generation Y or something. I don't know. There's
I think
already a
it
new
starts
one.
over. It starts over. So what they're saying is like Gen Z is right now, and after that will be Alpha, the Alpha generation. I think anyway.
It's already past millennials generation. What I heard, I don't know. I don't really
Yeah, it's
care.
past millennium.
I think it's Generation Y right now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like M on Friday. Anyways, let's talk about the big story before The Last of Us. Justin Roiland officially removed from Rick and Morty.
Ah,
Have you been following up on them?
no, I'm scared and sad too. Tell me what they said, or did they like their, I mean, the thing is, I know you said last week that it's like, or the week before, that he was he's accused of domestic violence and he's got some alcohol problems. Did any other news come out?
Oh, a lot.
Oh yeah, no, I don't
All right,
know.
so they have him like dead to rights with screenshots of talking to these girls. I don't know how many, but they're like underage, 16,
Screenshots.
17.
There's receipts.
And this is when he was like 32. He's like 40 to 40-ish now. But he's calling them
Okay.
jailbait and why are you jailbait? Why are you so young? And then he's calling them the F word, racial not racial slur, a gay slur, F word.
Oh, I was like, wait,
As a
what?
joke, but it's like inappropriate. And then he's
Girls?
doing
He's
like,
calling girls that?
yeah, he's just talking like a kid. He's
Oh,
talking
okay.
like a you got to read him because he's talking like a Rick and Morty character. If you just read in a Rick and Morty character, you can kind of see the way his humor is. But then he's like saying, "Wow, oh, me so Chinese," and blah blah blah. It's just like weird, dumb shit to say, racist shit, dumb shit. But the point is, beyond that, they're underage. Like he's hitting on these underage girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got that's right. So with the domestic thing, innocent to proven guilty, people aren't really following the other stuff where they caught him dead to rights with talking to these young girls, whatever. And then he was even on a podcast, and there's only voices on the podcast, and obviously he's trying to be funny, but he has a twisted sense of humor, and it's just too much when you add everything together. Because even the original Rick and Morty, the Back to the Future thing, it was all pedo jokes, but it was like gay pedo jokes, probably the grandpa and the kid. So I mean, that's his sensibilities, right? But the voices on that podcast, I'm pretty sure the guy voice is on Rick and Morty as well. So I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but he sounds familiar from one of those background stuff they do. But anyways, so he's talking on the podcast, and he's just like, I'm not a pedo, but 13-year-old girl, you tell me with those big titties and stuff like that back in the day was normal. You wouldn't want to hit that, and he's doing his shtick like that voice he does and the riffing.
If I could go back and be a fourth grade kid right now with what I know, oh my god, I'd be like walking around, I'd be getting laid every fucking day.
Gross.
And it would be legal too because I would be a little kid.
And he's been practicing on a fourth grader now, so he knows how to do it.
No, she's 22.
She does have braces, though.
I love it. I love the braces. It's hot.
Okay. It says, anyways, she said she had a nice ass.
I'm not a pedophile, though, all right? Jesus Christ.
Didn't really want...
I'm not attracted to fucking little kid bodies. I like fucking women bodies. Look, I'll say, a fucking 14-year-old that looks like she's 18 and, like, big titties and a nice...
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm attracted to that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's why this whole Chris Hansen thing, I'm like... Fuck you, man. These girls are like, they're fully developed, and they're like, talking online, I want you to fuck me.
You mean the girls that old men or women pretend to be to lure the pedophiles into the house?
Yeah, but they would email photos of what they look like, and the ones I saw were like, that girl's fully fucking developed woman. Yeah, like, come on, back in like, how are we that like, as a race, are we that crazy? Like, when we were fucking...
And I know he thinks, he's being funny. It's 13 is like even way younger. It's like, whoa, bro. And like
he was talking to a 13-year-old girl.
No, he's talking about a 13-year-old girl.
Oh,
it's a comedy podcast. Obviously, there's a girl. There's a woman in that podcast. She's kind of like, oh no, but she's not. Nobody's really stopping him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really challenging him on it. Obviously, it's a comedy podcast, and that's the way he riffs. But it's when you add everything together, it's just bad, dude. Just like and 13's too far, anyways. Like, what the fuck? Like. It's like so they got him in so many inappropriate things. It has nothing to do with, at this point, the domestic, the innocent or guilty, it doesn't even matter. The receipts have come out now that he's gotten in trouble, been exposed. It's been exposed, basically.
Ugh, gross. That's so sad because, like you said, I didn't realize how much he improvises on Rick and Morty. And Rick is such a great character. Like we were saying the other week as well, like I think Morty's easy to redo, to recast. But Rick is so special,
And then number one contender that people want is this TikToker called Sean Kelly Says. He does a perfect Morty. Does a perfect Morty. You can see him on TikTok. His Rick has gotten a lot better. It's still... I would say still not up to Roiland's level, but it's very close. And I don't know how funny he is. He's probably funny, but he does a really good voice. He does Mr. Meeseeks. He does another voice, so he's very talented. I don't know if they're gonna cast him or not. I mean, they have options.
Are you gonna play a clip of him for the?
I'll put a clip of him.
Let me watch a video so you can get a reaction.
You pass butter. Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
A vat of fake acid? Are you dying of dementia? Even Hitler cared about Germany or something? Oh man, oh jeez, Rick. I really don't want to have to do that, Rick.
Oh, beloved Deb Deb.
Mr. Meeseeks, look at me.
What is my purpose?
Oh wow.
Butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
He does those voices? Wow.
Even his
Even the
Even his
Meeseeks was on point.
even his wubba dub, but I don't like his wubba dub dub. It doesn't even sound. It sounds off to me.
You don't like the
If you
wubba
go,
dubba dub wubba lubba dub dub? I mean, no one's gonna
yeah,
sound just like him though.
wow, it's got to be closer. If you go down the next video, even Justin Roiland was impressed with him not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah,
The one that says, "Hey, that's me."
yeah.
The boy who lived has come to die.
Yeah, that's like that's scary.
Wow.
If you were to play that next to me doing it, people would have a hard time knowing which was which.
Just because I can go, I'm sitting here, I'm 14, right? Doesn't mean that I'm the guy, right? Or just because I can say, hey, I'm Pickle Rick, it doesn't mean that I'm the guy who does Rick. I'm not Justin Roiland. Just because I can go, Mr. Meeseeks, look at me, I just want to die, does not mean that I'm Justin Roiland. Just because I can go, this castle is in unacceptable condition, does not mean I'm Justin Roiland.
Wow, even Justin gives him props. Justin even said if they were next to each other, no one could tell who
So
was who.
that's what people want right now. That's the contender right now.
Wow. But I mean,
I
I
think
think I don't know him that well, but like you were saying, he does so much improv. Do you think that he can do that? I think that's such an important element too.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know his background. I don't know if he can. I mean, I don't know even how important it is. It might mean either Dan Harmon with more control will make an even more interesting show. Um, and he's known to being controlling. So I don't know about I don't know if he had improv in Community. Maybe he did. He had very talented actors. Um, it might feel a little different if he feels like there's not a lot more riffing going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the show's in good shape just because the writing is way more important with Dan Harmon
Yeah.
than that riffing stuff.
Right. For sure. For sure.
But
But
it
what if
feel a little off if it doesn't have it at the same time because that's what he
so
does.
here's my pitch to you. Like, what if they decide because it's a multiverse to like just kill them
Yeah,
off and start off? Yeah. I
yeah,
don't
no,
want
no.
that.
Somebody
I
wrote
hope.
an article.
Do you think
Oh,
he would
also,
do that? I don't
no,
want that.
no, he's not that stupid.
I don't
This goes
know.
back to
Come on,
the
how many
not
times have we
respecting
seen
the
people
fans.
do that?
So, yeah, somebody I don't know who it was. Somebody wrote an article. Oh, it's fine in multiverse. They could just kill them or explain why their voices are different. Like, no, we don't want different voices, bro. Like,
I don't want different voices.
or even different characters.
But I'm just worried that in their fear or whatever, that they might write it that way,
No, I mean,
because it's an opportunity for them to do that.
he's very self-aware about canon episodes and stuff like that. They're in the middle of a storyline right now. They can't just drop everything. They could do it in the future one day, sure. Now it's not that time.
Do you think it would work if they brought in somebody famous that everybody loves? Like, what if
I don't
Dave
know who that
Chappelle?
person would be,
What if Dave Chappelle was suddenly Rick?
but I mean, no.
Or what if that guy, because he's Latino, right? And there's that big Latino comedian that everybody loves that Carlitos went to see. I should know who he is, but I don't watch comedy.
I don't know,
Gabriel.
Fluffy.
Yeah, I think
Fluffy.
Fluffy. I think so. Apparently
No, I
he's
don't think so.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, he's not even. We assume he's Hispanic. We don't really know. I mean, the picture of his family.
Sanchez.
Yeah, just the picture of the he looks Hispanic. The picture. We don't know. He could still be Spaniard. We don't know.
Yeah.
He just be
Well,
Spain, which is white. So, but
yeah.
that picture they show, he does look like has a big mustache. Yeah, I mean, they haven't confirmed nothing yet. It's kind of accepted though, which I like. People kind of accept that he's probably like half Hispanic or something like that. Especially after that picture. That picture, like that was like a Mexican big mustache. Yeah,
Damn. Well, I mean, the thing is, we know
he
nothing
had a
about
tan
his.
too. Yeah,
We know nothing about his parents or his
that
backstory. You
yeah.
know.
That brief. It's a very brief picture. It's not even clear, but he did have a tan. He had the certain look that
Wow. I mean,
we
that's
don't know.
cool for our community.
Yeah, that's why we accept it. But he looks white as
Uh,
shit, so we don't know. He drinks like a Mexican.
oh, Justin Roiland, you suck. Such a great show. And, because you're an idiot now, it's like, ugh.
I think we find it might feel a little different, especially with the riffing. Some of the stuff he just throws stuff out and they just go with it. So
I know,
it
exactly.
goes into the story. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Dan Harmon's gonna have a lot more leeway to do what he wants. So
What do you mean by that?
he's used to being in complete control. This is like a collaborative effort. Um,
Oh, okay.
I feel like he's gonna take the reins even more because
Oh,
he's
got
gonna
it.
feel like he has
I
to.
thought he was already I mean, he already was mostly in control.
It's their show. It's not his show. It's their
Ugh.
show.
Did you want to audition for Rick?
No, it's their show, not his show. And the characters were on before Dan Harmon even jumped on. Technically, because it was Back to the
Okay.
Future.
All
But
right. Yeah, then that might be a good thing, I guess.
all right, so let's talk about The Last of Us. I wanted to jump back to the first episode real quick. You lived in
Okay.
Austin. Did you recognize anything in the shots? The
No, I thought the vibe felt right, but I didn't
vibe.
recognize the. Yeah, I didn't definitely didn't recognize any stores or anything, but it felt right. Like the
Okay.
stores, the streets, and all that definitely look like that. You can easily drive into Austin and find like, it's very green. Like it felt right. Yeah.
I forgot to mention one of the great scenes in the first episode at the end when Joel has the PTSD with the guy pointing the gun at them, and so he starts beating the shit out of the police officer, and Bella Ramsey is right behind him. She's just like
Oh yeah.
all into it. That was dope.
Yep.
She was just like, because earlier on she's like, oh, what can he do? Like she's really into violence. Like what can he do? Like what is he capable of? And when she sees that,
So
she's into it.
yeah, so I am watching the inside the episode the HBO inside the episode, and I guess that was intentional. They wanted to show the contrast between the two daughters, and I don't know if that exists. I mean, I guess it kind of does in the game, but apparently when he has his biological daughter, um, she's like, "Dad, you just hit him, or you just shot him." Like it freaks her the f out, right? And so they wanted to do a contrast of having now who's going to be like somewhat his adoptive daughter in a way, how she actually is different. She's raised a different way, and she's into the violence, whereas the other daughter was terrified by it.
She's built for this world, and
She is.
that shot where he looks back at her and he's in a Wolverine pose. He's just like this. You could literally add nails. He just looks
True.
so badass, like Wolverine. I was like, damn.
True. He's
And then
playing it so well.
he's playing it really well. And
Yeah.
Marlene is the same actress from the video game, so that's pretty cool.
Marlene. Which one's Marlene?
The
Oh
lady that
yes.
gave,
Oh yeah,
gave
no.
her,
Yeah, the leader, right?
yeah, the Fireflies,
Of the Fireflies. Yeah, I
same
discovered that
actress.
later. That was cool. Yeah. She shows up in the inside the episode too. And I was curious because Chris was playing the game. I was like, damn, that looks just like the actress. So I found out later that it is the same person.
I feel they look different, but the voice is obviously the same.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get to episode two. I love the new flashbacks. So that's nothing from the game. This is all the new stuff, and they're adding to the lore. And then so
Cool.
that start with they're in Jakarta and the scientists, and when she's talking about she's crying and saying bomb the city, I was like, does that mean you too? It absolutely meant her too. She's
Yeah.
like, let me see my family. Like that
Yeah.
was.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Yeah. That felt so real. So real. And also, I guess in most instances when you're seeing a pandemic or viruses or stuff like that depicted and it's shown to people in power or whatever, the choice is for them to save themselves usually. So it was interesting to see a character say goodbye, and think of the greater good.
I was thinking about it. It was a great scene. Logically, it don't make sense because it's flour being shipped around the world. The bombing their little country is not going to stop this pandemic from happening.
And that's why it
But
doesn't. But I don't think she knew that. I don't think I think she just thought it was like a virus, but didn't realize it was like,
I love the what is it called, subversion, the subversion of it, doing the opposite of what they usually do, because she included herself, but at the same time, it's like, well, bombing that little country, it's not really. It's too late. It's already been shipped. But so
Also,
going
we
to
don't
the
know what happens. Like her making that decision doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
so that
Because
was
they cut
one of the,
away.
so in the game, they might have mentioned it, or in the games a lot of time they don't tell the direct lore. You gotta read little journals and stuff, which I hate doing. So I never considered that's why all the buildings are like destroyed and shit because they bombed the cities. So like, oh, that makes sense. That's what's going on.
Oh my
I was
god.
just like, I just assumed like I was like, why are these buildings like tipped over and stuff just because they don't live in them anymore? They didn't really consider the bombing. I would think
Yeah.
there would be more destroyed though. But okay, so let's go to the flower, right? So the flower is what is infecting everybody. So I don't know if you've seen this, but they almost got infected 4 times in the first episode because it's in the flower.
Yes.
You
Actually,
did.
yeah. Yeah.
So
When we watched it again, Chris was pointing it out, the cookie,
okay, so
the
let me go in
yeah,
order,
you do
okay?
it. Yeah, go ahead.
So number one, Sarah wanted to make pancakes but couldn't find flour. Okay,
Hmm.
so no pancakes. Number two, and I thought the scene was a little it didn't belong there with the biscuits. Now I see why they put it in there. So in the morning they offered them biscuits. I'm like, nah, don't you like biscuits? They're like, nah, I don't want any, right? So that's two. Number three, she goes visits, and then that's when the cookies are there, right? You want cookies? She says, no, because they have raisins. She's like, no, I don't want any raisins. And then finally, Joe forgot the birthday cake. So
Yeah.
4 times they could have got infected.
Yeah. So
And
would
go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna make it fun and ask, do you think if this happened today, would you be infected?
It depends on the day, but I don't need a lot of flour usually. It just depends on the day, you know. Plus, I don't. Is Jakarta really the main manufacturer of flour? That I have to check.
That I don't know. That I don't know. They do produce a lot of it. They have non-bread, but who knows? I don't know if they're really the big producers. It could be. They do produce a lot of organic ingredients and stuff. I would definitely probably be because I eat pizza once a week.
Once a week? I wish I ate pizza once a week.
Really? You don't? I'm surprised. You're such a pizza person. But
No,
you know
that's
what? I
too
do
much.
call actually actually honestly though, I do cauliflower.
Cauliflower?
I do cauliflower pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're making that
Yeah.
in Jakarta. And I was right about the mouth. Okay, that was
You
it's
were.
really
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You
told
were.
you, but I don't know why you thought that was hair.
I don't know. I
It's
guess
some glasses.
you know what? Maybe also because like you said it's not in the game, so my mind probably was just kind of like, oh, it's obviously the hair.
And they talk about that in one of those after episodes too, where in the games it's spores, but
Yeah.
they went back into the research and they got an expert and they wanted to change it up because it doesn't. I guess it's better for the TV show to have it because there's different ways you can be affected, but instead of spores, they wanted to do the living
Yeah.
more of a visual living fungus thing, which is
Yeah.
also possible. And I like the new mythology of the cordyceps because also other thing they added was you step on one, you're stepping on the whole infrastructure that could hit a mile away. That was a nice change.
Oh,
It's not
it's
in the game.
fucking amazing. I didn't know that's not in the game, but that was dope. Like in real life, that's actually I don't know if you watch The Future of, but you should watch it. It's really good. Before this game came out, or before I knew about the game, I watched that. I'm sure the game was out before it, but it's called The Future of, and it's like a docu-series. And there's one episode about plants. And plants, it just breaks down how really intelligent they are, how they will evolve in the future, how they will help us, beyond building organs. We all know that, but we could actually program them. We can have them save data. So it makes 100% that they're that, connected because it's like a whole, they're almost like a computer system. Plants are, it's not just mushrooms, actually, cordyceps.
And once again, not zombies. I have runners, stalkers, and clickers, and I think there's like one or two other versions. the clickers being the enhanced version you saw at the episode 2. Though they use echolocation to navigate because they're blind because of the fungus.
That
So you
was
got to be real quiet.
crazy. Yeah, that was so crazy. It definitely had like Guillermo del Toro vibes.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Uh,
Yeah,
Pan Lab is fucking phenomenal. And the
yeah,
whole the set pieces, the HBO effect, like you like to call it, is it's been phenomenal. It's really the best video game adaptation that I've seen. It's like it's
nice.
so true to the source material. And so I don't know if you noticed, this episode was directed by the video game director Neil Druckmann, which I think this
No,
episode was better. So yeah, I saw
that's
that right away.
cool.
So so he's actually I looked it up. Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, the director of Chernobyl, they're in the same level. So they're both creators of this show, showrunners, everything. So they're actually at the same level. No one is higher than the other. So this is why the source material is getting respected so well. And I thought so. Craig directed the first episode. I think the second one's better, and that was all Neil Druckmann. So
Wow,
he's translating very well from that video game into this TV show, and that's why it
that's
took so long to
cool.
make. Something they didn't do with Uncharted. Like they didn't really get to do everything.
Yeah,
They had obviously he has a lot more control in this one, and he's doing a great job.
wow.
I love the interactions with Ellie and Joel. Like, you're a weird kid. Like, she's not weird. She's never been outside.
And he
But
seems so reluctant. There's at one point she says something and he looks at his watch, or at some point it just, you could tell he's already thinking that obviously that she reminds him of his
there's a lot of
daughter,
that in the
you
game
know.
where I just totally missed. Where then I look at the comments, like Reddit and stuff, and like, oh, the symbolism with the watch and the daughter. Like, what? Oh yeah, the daughter gave him the watch. Like, okay, but they're
Josh.
still doing that. They don't never even now. Like, yeah, oh, yeah, the watch.
What did you think? So what is the name of the girl that died in the end? Tess?
Tess.
Yeah. For me, I felt like I wanted more of her to feel it more. It happened a little too soon for me personally, because I want to cry when people die, and she was a cool character. And because it happened so soon, I hadn't seen too much of like who she is in her relationship to uh what's the main character's name? Joel.
Joel.
Yeah, I guess I wanted to see more so I can cry when she dies. I didn't cry because I felt like it was so early in the show, you know. She was
Well,
barely in the first one.
she got more time in this show than even in the game.
Oh, okay.
She's fleshed out actually a little bit more, but they stuck to it maybe too close where they could have given her more time. But the story is really about the father daughter dynamic.
For
She's kind
sure,
of a
but
third
I
wheel.
just feel like if it's an opportunity to cry
She's
or
yeah, I mean
feel
she's
something.
not. I don't think you're supposed to cry over her. She's a very bad person who tries to redeem herself by telling him, "You got to take care of this," because she was like, Joel, like, she's infected. She was ready to, she'll kill her. No questions asked. She knows she's a bad person. They're both bad people.
Yeah.
But she's trying to redeem herself when she finally starts to believe, like, oh, this girl could be save humanity. We need to do the right thing, and but I know Joel is not going to be on board. I need to convince him before I die. And it's kind of funny because I thought maybe this time he might, because this in this show they show a little bit more that they're in a relationship where it's more ambiguous in the game. So I thought maybe Joe would at least kiss her goodbye, and ended up being a stalker that kisses her goodbye instead,
I know
which
that
is a
shit
little
was
confusing.
crazy.
I was wondering if it's kind of like what's the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where they know you're infected or not. So if you're
Yeah,
not infected, like, I wonder if it was like that. He really already knew she was infected, so they didn't really have to go at her like crazy. Just finished the job when he came up to her like that. I don't know. It's a little weird,
I
but
think. Well, I think because it is a hive mind mentality that she is
Mm.
already infected. That in her mind was probably already changing.
And that's what people are
Like,
saying. That
yeah,
that's why, yeah, she was struggling with the lighter, obviously because it's not working. But she felt like she was starting to hive mind, and she had to
yeah,
get it done as soon as possible. And that's
yeah,
why she couldn't even move, which could be
yeah,
true. I really don't know because they're kind of changing a little bit, so I don't know.
yeah,
It
yeah.
could be,
That's how
yeah.
I saw it. It
And that,
was
yeah,
interesting, you know. And I did like how he finally was like, okay, go, and he just runs because he knew. I mean, he's in survival mode. He's been in survival mode for years. Like, there's no time for like crying and like we didn't know, and like a conversation is just like you just gotta run, you know. And I did like that depiction of like this is just the life he's been living, you know.
And I'm worried so we talked about it's got to be at least 2 seasons for the first game. They're talking about adapting the second game for second season, which means they're gonna. I feel like it's gonna be kind of rushed.
They're
You
gonna
could
do
add.
yeah, that's crazy.
I think you can add so much more story with the video game Cat. So
Yeah,
I don't know because, like you said, they could have developed Tess a little bit more, one more episode at least, before
yeah,
getting to that scene. So, but at the same
I
time, they're
think
kind of
so.
moving. I don't know.
I think so because you know they did show they were together. So I think for me, I would have liked to seen like why did he? It seems like he doesn't want to be with anybody though. So they both made a choice to be together. Why? And I guess I kind of wanted to see that why a
I
little
mean,
bit, you
for
know?
me, it's just like competence and willing to do the bad stuff. That's why they're together. Because she even said it
Yeah,
like it's. She even said
but
it.
she like
It's
hugged
implied
him,
like
and
she she probably loved him, but she knows he didn't love her. But it's more
mm,
like a mutual, beneficial. I don't know how to say, but
yeah,
it benefited him to have her around more than
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Where her probably had a little more emotion into it.
yeah,
Well, what would you rate the episode? I would say it's a 10.
yeah. I'd
Yeah.
give I I think I was just I think the thing that got me was just that her death. I think wanting a little bit more. She is, you know, the actress from Fringe, and like I think either you do it early, like a Drew Barrymore, and you're like, shit, oh shit, that happened really fast. But she's not big enough, I guess, for that kind of shock, because nobody even recognized her. Or you take some time so there's more weight to that death. It was a good opportunity because he hasn't. We would assume, I would assume that he hasn't. You can tell he's disconnected. So he has some sort of connection to her, even if it's just because it's survival. Um, but it seems like they've been working together for so long. So that part is scary when you're starting to just work on your own again. Whatever it is that, whatever your habit is, it's scary to move on from that. And I guess I wanted to feel that a little bit, that transition a little bit. You know, he's dealt with so much loss. He does feel a little stone cold, and it makes sense. I don't know. I think I just wanted more from that death, but everything
I
else
think
was perfect. I
with the
think the
story
way it happened
already,
was great.
I think with the story already, like it's moving forward. You risk put it in. It feels like filler sometimes. Some shows do that to stretch it out. And K dramas do this a lot. Sometimes it feels like filler. Like is this necessary? Like they're sticking to the story of the game in that sense, where they're afraid to because they're
Yeah,
already
for
going.
sure.
They're going outside in the
For
compound and
sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could have put in a different interaction from the games that she wasn't a part of in there. There's some stuff they could have did, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, look, I think characters need to die for stories to move forward regardless. Like, that's why George Lucas even killed Obi-Wan because he's just there, initially when he had him throughout the story, you know. Um, Ned Stark had to die, but they took their time with that, so that was a painful death. So I don't know. I don't know. They introduced her as a lead
Well, Ned
actress
Stark was
too.
to trick you. You thought he
Yeah,
was the main character. You thought.
yeah. I kind of thought she was too, because she's in the game as far as I am in the game, which is 5 minutes. And then, they're
It's
living in the
about
same apartment,
it's I
so
mean it's really about gaining a new daughter in a new world, really.
for
So,
sure. Yeah.
and what's that? There's a
Yeah.
famous novel like Little Cub or something about a man and his son in the post-apocalyptic world that everybody always refers to. I don't know the name of it. Every movie is post-apocalyptic with a dad and a son. They always refer to that. This is what this is, but with a girl instead of a son.
Okay.
I wish I knew the name of it. Something Cub or something. I'll look it up. But
Well, I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
okay.
It was everything was actually, it was very good. Um, I love the little girl, I love her portrayal. I love how dark she is. And sometimes when they have young actors, you're like, oh my God, why are they being so stupid? Why are they making that
You
stupid
keep you keep
choice?
saying that, but I've never seen that with teenage actors,
Oh,
like
I watch
young
young.
actors, not like teenage
Okay,
actors.
let's talk about, are you watching Willow? I
No,
won't make it long, but I'll make this a point. Are you gonna watch it?
probably not.
Okay. Laura Dannon. She's playing a young girl.
How
Laura
young?
Dannon is maybe 18, maybe less than that, a teenager.
Okay.
And she, oh, thank you, Cyrus. I'm almost done, okay? She, do you remember Laura Dannon in the original Willow? She's the little baby that has like superpowers or whatever,
Like the one they're
So,
protecting?
yeah, the one they're protecting. So she makes the most awful choices. She is written so horribly. She's just always running off, thinking that she can save the day, and then they have to go rescue her.
Okay, so that's poor writing.
Yeah, but I feel like that's common with like when you're trying to depict young kids and like, oh, well, they're kids, so they're making bad choices. It can get so frustrating.
You were
So
talking
it's
about the acting. That's the writing.
Oh, the acting too. I mean, and I don't want to talk to this actress's acting because maybe it's just that, but I'm not going to attack any young actors, but I've seen it.
The
I
one with
don't think I
the
want to
one is
name
it the
them.
one with the red hair?
Oh no, she's cool. No, she's not a
Okay, I'm
Laura
gonna say
Dern.
she's
Oh
a
yeah,
good
she's in
actress.
everything. She's in Star Wars. Yeah, no.
Yeah, the
Uh,
first time I don't know if you saw it with us, but the first time I saw her and I knew she was gonna be a good actress, the redhead, was
yeah.
at the festival you took us to in Austin. She was in a
Oh,
movie called
Fantastic Fest.
Fantastic Fest. She was in a
Oh,
movie
you saw
called
her in a movie there?
Yeah, with Pops. It's called Pincushion, and she plays a
Oh, cool.
really. She was really young there, and she played a really weird character. It's just an interesting movie, and she was so good. I was like, she
Okay.
might actually be a real actress. And then all of a sudden, she's in Star Wars and
Yeah,
Marvel and like these
yeah.
parts. Like, well, okay,
Yeah, she
okay,
blew up. She blew up
yeah.
because she's good. She's good. She was
But it's funny
great in
because
Tempest Nest.
I don't think people really recognize her though. Like yet, she's not recognizable yet, but she's getting these big roles. She's
Yeah,
recognized to me, but no, not to normal
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. No, she's good in it. It's the
Anyway,
other,
Bella
the other.
Ramsey's like 20 or 21 already. And
Huh?
obviously we know she can act. Bella Ramsey, she's already
Oh yeah. Oh, she's 21?
she's like 20,
Oh my
21
God.
already.
No
She
way.
she looks like she's young, but
She
obviously we know
looks
she
like
can act.
she's
She was
13.
ready. She was ready in Game of Thrones, so already know she can act.
Yeah. She
Okay,
was
sorry,
so cute.
she's 19, but still.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah,
still, damn,
yeah.
is
She
she
looks way
playing
younger than that.
13 though? She's playing
She's
13.
playing young. She's playing young. I don't know how young.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like they're treating her like a kid. Like she's
I mean,
just a
she is a
kid. But,
kid. She's a kid. She's
but
supposed to be a
19
teenager.
is
And
young
I know.
adult.
She's not playing a 19-year-old. She is 19. She's not playing 19. She definitely played like
Okay.
15, 16.
Okay. All right. The same age as his daughter.
Basically, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah.
remember to pick a movie to promote?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay. What you got?
I recommend Peter Pan.
Oh, okay, because you were just watching.
No, actually, I was going to recommend it before we watched it, or before I watched it with Friday. I was like, oh, you know what? Because I was showing Friday the trailer, and I was like, I should recommend this movie. But it's Peter Pan
2000, 2003.
2003
Yeah.
with Jeremy Sumpter, who's like an amazing Peter Pan. And Rachel Hurd Wood, Jason Isaacs, who
Jason
plays both.
Isaac kills it.
Yeah, he kills it. He plays both Hook and the dad, which I
Yeah.
think in the story is how Wendy sees Hook, as I think she sees him. I could be wrong, but I think
I
he's
know. I
supposed to
think
look
you're right.
like the dad.
Yeah, I think you're
The
right.
director's PJ Hogan. Um, I think it's like went under the radar, but
Yeah.
it's actually so good. Coldplay was just getting big, so some of the music is so beautiful. I feel like it really feels like that's what might have if Peter Pan was real and it happened in that time in that house with Wendy, Darling. Um, it's just depicted so well. The story of Peter Pan, the story of Wendy having to grow up, the performances, Nana, the dad trying to. Everyone has a struggle too, because the dad also has this theme of like having to grow up because the aunt's like, you need to get a better job. Your daughter's getting older. Um, it's just so good. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's so underrated. I like Peter's portrayal. Like, it's just a
Yeah.
selfish kind of kid, like the way it should be. It looks great. I think it's the best Peter Pan film, better than the Disney cartoon one. Like,
Yeah.
and I can't believe most people haven't seen it, or
I
like
know.
we grew up on Hook, which is not the original Peter Pan. It's like a
No,
continuation,
it's a
which is great.
continuation. Yeah.
I love it.
I love Hook. Yeah.
I think this is on another level. It's just like it's a perfect telling of Peter Pan, and it's
It
unfortunate
is. And
most
it
people
needs
don't know
to
about it.
they don't. I wish it would like be re-released or something. Like even Tinkerbell was perfect. Like she was so cute. She didn't speak because so it's more like a fairy, and she could only do one emotion at a time because she's so tiny. I mean, it's just so it's so good. And I saw it in theaters actually when it came out.
Yeah, me too. I might watch it again because I don't remember everything at this point, but I do remember how good it was, how good Peter was. Jason Isaac, he's from Harry Potter, right? The dad, the evil dad,
Jason Isaac, yeah,
isn't he?
he's
Yeah.
yeah. And Jeremy Sumpter actually back in the day, especially when he made Peter Pan, he was kind of big too. He did let me look it up because he did that movie where his dad is Frailty. Do you remember Frailty? That was good too with
Oh
Matthew
yeah,
McConaughey.
oh
He was
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's one of my
he was
favorite
that
movies of all
kid.
time.
Yeah, so he was big in those times. He that just tells you like he was a good actor, or probably still is. I don't know. I haven't seen him in anything lately, but as far as like and around that time he did Frailty. He played that little boy.
Yeah, he was great in Frail. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna recommend Frailty. That's one of my favorite movies. It's I believe what's his name directed it to the dad, the one Bill Paxton who passed away. I believe he
Oh,
directed it too,
you're
and it
right.
has
Bill Paxton. Bill
and
Paxton directed it.
had Matthew McConaughey before people realized he was a good actor, and he fucking killed it in there. Like, dude, you were sleeping on
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Uh, surprise ending.
Yeah.
It's about a dad who believes in God and believes he's being spoken to take care of evil people, and the kids struggle with it. One kid does, one kid doesn't, and that's all I'll say. Go, Frailty is a fucking phenomenal film, man.
That's
You haven't seen
such a good
Frailty.
movie. Yeah.
I believe it was a indie film. You gotta
Yeah.
so Frailty, go see Frailty for sure.
Go see two Jeremy Sumpter or rent two Jeremy Sumpter movies.
Okay.
Peter Pan and Frailty.
All right. But the other kid, I don't know the other kid's name. He was great too. Like the whole cast just was just great. Uh,
Who was the
yeah,
other
Frail
kid? Matt
definitely worth a
O'Leary.
while.
Yeah,
They're all great.
they
Bill
were all
Paxton
good.
got
That movie
everybody.
that is so good.
I
So
wonder
good.
how many films Bill Paxton directed because he got the performance of everybody. It's just a good movie, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
All right, go back to the movies.
Go back to the movies. What's
No,
the
is
last thing
anything?
you saw?
I was about to say what's coming up in the movies. It's the Dog Days of January. I don't even know. I want to see Megan. I haven't seen it. I want to see Megan. We've been
I saw
busy.
Megan,
How was
but
that?
we could talk about it when you see it. I thought it was good. It's solid. It's good.
Yeah,
We'll
I've
talk
been
about it when
hearing.
you see it.
I hear it's funny. Yeah, we keep saying we're going to talk about it. I guess I'll try to see this week.
I saw that. I saw The Whale. I saw
You know what's
The
funny? Real quick,
Fablemans.
is that out now or is it re-released because it's nominated? The Fablemans.
Which one?
The
Fablemans? No, it's
Fablemans.
been out. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
been consistently out. Yeah.
Funny quick story about the whale.
What?
There's this coworker at work. And then they wanted to go to the movies together, and one paid for the movies. Her friend paid for the movies, right? She's like, "Oh, what movie we're seeing?" Like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. Just come by buy the food." And so she goes, and then it turns out it's the whale, and she's like, "What the fuck with this movie, man?" You go because she's going. You're going into the movies to have a good time. I'm sure the whale's a great movie. It's
It
not one you need to
is.
see in the theater. It's obviously there because it's been nominated, and it's not. She wanted to see Megan. Like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
Megan's. I want to
Yeah.
see Megan. Just wanted to have a fun time with the movies, not see.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm guessing a sad movie about the whale.
It's
Like,
sad.
I can imagine it's sad. I'm sure it's good, but it's not something you're in the mood for. If you don't know, you got to something you got to be willing to go see. Like, you know what
You
I'm
got
saying? Like,
you definitely got to be in the mood because it's sad. I wanted to
I haven't
see it,
seen it. I already know. I already know. Yeah.
and also I love Brendan.
Brendan Fraser.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fraser, yes, and he
I
killed
think
it
it's
in the movie.
Fraser.
And on,
I think he just corrected everybody. I think it's Fraser. I'll
oh,
look.
Equals
I'm
fun.
Brendan Fraser. You're watching Comedy Central. That's Fraser, not Frasier. If you say Frasier, I know where you live.
It's not Fraser's.
but also think about it. It's him. There was a lot of humor. He was really funny in it. But it is sad, and it's Darren Aronofsky. I know we don't like
no.
Mother.
I hate Darren Aronofsky.
Oh,
I've
I
not
like
like
Darren.
one movie from Darren Aronofsky. He
Okay.
made one cult classic, and people think
You
he's
may
a
not
great
like
director.
this one then. You may not like this one then.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's
yes.
also done in a square aspect ratio, which I'm not entirely sure why. That I've
Yeah,
never looked
just
into
'cause-
it, but it's like
just
in
'cause
that
he's in
TV ratio.
Because he's an artiste. That's the only reason. He's an
Yeah,
artiste.
but I mean, go ahead and use it if you're an artiste, but I mean, it has to be purposeful, which I'm thinking
That's what
it
I'm
was to
saying.
make but I'm thinking it was to make Brendan look bigger, maybe, but I haven't looked into it.
Because
To
Jonah
fill
Hill
the
did
frame.
Jonah Hill did a movie about the '90s skateboarding kids, and I'm pretty sure he did the aspect ratio, and you get used to it, but it makes more sense because that's how there was filmed back
'Cause it
then.
was
I don't know why
yeah.
the whale would need to be that. All right.
I don't know, but Sadie Sink is in it. She's good in it.
All right.
All right.
Back to the movies. Thanks for
Go back
watching.
to
Hit
the
like and
movies.
subscribe.
Come back to the podcast.
Yeah, come back. On Spotify, Apple, everything. Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Bye, G.
Bye, Josh.
Shh.